So you were just like, you're a skier and you came into the sport going, this shit needs some organization.
no fooling.
like trying to rope them in and then...
Scary. I grew up back east, Massachusetts, and I went to the University of Massachusetts, was on the ski team for 3 years, raced all over New England, and then I moved. My dream was to move to Colorado. Two things, my dream. One, to go to the Olympics. Two, to move to Colorado and live in Colorado and ski every day. So the first one was an easy thing. I got in my car in 1971 and drove to Vail and stayed there.
Yeah.
Been there for 44 years. The second one wasn't so easy.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't quite good enough to compete at that level.
Yeah.
Only at the collegiate level on some B Pro races in Vail, and I won the Vail Town Championships, all three disciplines, triple gold.
Yeah.
Just like
Track
Frank
factor.
Keeley. So I'm dreaming, Olympics.
God.
No chance for me to
Yeah.
ever think about going to the Olympics. So I tried to find a way to get there because I always wanted to go. And being part of competitive events was a way to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I started this sports promotion company called US Sports, and then US Events, and we ran a lot of some ski events, but it was a lot of like road races, road bike races. At that time, mountain biking wasn't too big in the middle 60s. And a bunch of different things, triathlons, biathlons, did a lot
kind
of
made up events in a way?
Yeah, we invented the Coors Light mountain bike biathlon series when it started to get popular, and we did 6 or 7 of those all over the country.
It's kind of like the bump series you did for a while.
Exactly. yeah. That was a big mistake. Bumps and snowboards.
Not to Andy Hetzel, man. He's an overall reigning champ.
One of the few people
he
I know.
Still has it. He holds that so high.
Crazy. And Jeff Grell, too.
Yeah.
The inventor of the high back binding.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. But
Grell's right.
Good friend. But anyhow, so some ski areas came to us in the late 80s. I think 88, 89, about 5 ski areas came to us because they knew that we had run ski events before and said, we want to put on some snowboard events. We go, okay, that's fine. We don't know anything about snowboarding, nothing. They went, well, we'll figure it out together.
but like back in the day, I used to look down and be like, oh, that's F. They're not coming from us. But who the F were we at that point? Because we just started, so it's like we were all immigrants in a way.
And we were immigrants into the competitive side of snowboarding because videos weren't that big at that time.
Yeah.
That's kind of where we got our names out there in front of everybody.
Yeah, but you had like the Greg Stumps in skiing, and that was like starting to break off in the late 80s.
Right.
I always saw like, people may argue this, but like we kind of took a lot of wind out of that sail. Like if snowboarding hadn't come, like Greg Stump, probably, you know what I mean? Not that he's not big, but like, because I traveled with Blake quite a bit after, like, say, 94 when he was on Rip Curl.
Yeah.
And he's not like this anymore at all. But at that time, it was that little transition period where he felt a little bit scorned. He felt like... But then he just recreated himself. You know what I mean? Like, he did whole different world now. But for that moment, he was just kind of like, man, sorry, we just gotten here, and then all you motherfuckers came this way and just bylined us,
Here we come, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So we started the Rocky Mountain Snowboard Series, and that's where Hetzel and all those guys, the Pappases, all the Rocket Reeves.
Hetzel was one of the first to comment on that thing. It was so
I still have videos in my garage someplace of VHS tapes. I'm sure of it because we did some television shows. Zele Beer was the title sponsor one year.
And how they doing now?
They're dead.
Coors saw that and they were like, no, we want some longevity. Let's leave that to Zele.
Yeah, Zele can take care of that. They had lemon flavored beers and all these weird flavors, and raspberry beer and everything. And they gave us $20,000 and we ran the Rocky Mountain Snowboard Series for 4 or 5 years.
That's killer.
That was great. The first event we ever did, we had 350 people show up for a GS.
Was that like the Purgatory contest and stuff like that?
Yeah, and Monarch.
Yeah.
And anyhow, the guy...
Craig moved 88, 89 to Colorado to do... Or no, 86, 87.
Yeah, maybe.
What year were you starting this?
We started the International Snowboard Federation, I think, in 88 or 89. 88 was the Rocky Mountain Snowboard Series. And it was crazy. We had him at Copper Mountain. We televised him on, I think, ESPN.
Yeah.
And we were hand digging pipes.
No, I remember.
All the riders were out there hand digging them, and it went really well. and we were starting to make some money. And then NASBA got created, the North American Snowboard Association, by the Aldens, Paul Alden and Rick Alden and those guys. And
snakes in the grass, those Aldens.
That was a little bit slippery. We went so far as to having fake airline IDs.
What was it?
Because Alden's uncle was the owner or one of the top guys at a company called Air Today.
Mm-hmm.
So Paul had fake airline IDs made for us, so we could fly internationally for like ID 90, 10% of the full fare.
Holy shit!
And these days you're in prison for life.
Yeah, this is like late '80s.
This is like the late, yeah.
Totally.
And we did.
If you're in the airport, you get on the plane.
I'm an airline employee.
Totally.
Okay, well you have to show me your ID when you get to. Okay, fine. I need to book a trip to Europe. Okay, boom, done. How much? $80. Okay, fine.
That's
thanks.
awesome.
So we were flying all over the world in that, but working for NASBA. And then I got this idea in 1989 because there was a World Cup was going on in Europe. I said, we got to do something here. We got to create an international federation to oversee all this shit, right? So I called the guy up that was running the event in Europe, a guy named Christian Savio from Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found a guy in Japan named Kazuo Ogura, legendary, right? Because he was there with me when the booty took
He was in the room,
on
right?
the incident.
Yeah.
And then, so we created the international. We all flew to New York City, got a hotel room, and sat down and we said, okay, let's create this.
I was wondering how that happened.
What are we going to call it? I said, let's call it the International Snowboard Federation, ISF. Okay, good idea. How are we going to do this? And I said, well, I guess I can try to incorporate it. So they said, okay. So I went back to Vail, which I was living there with my wife at the time, put $200, opened up a bank account, put $200 of my own money in a bank, and my wife did the incorporation papers, and we incorporated the ISF.
That was so. Had you ever snowboarded at that point? Were you still skiing?
I was still skiing.
That's rules.
But I was trying to snowboard.
That is so
Wendell
rad.
was competing in the Rocky Mountain Snowboard Series, and he hooked me up with Checkered Pig.
Oh, I was just going to say the
and
liquored pig. The liquored pig.
The liquored pig.
That's what we used to call
I
them.
had like 5 or 6 of the Checkered Pigs in my garage, and hard boots.
I wouldn't have started either. I'd have been
boots.
like, these skis are looking pretty good right now.
I was horrible. I was crashing into people. I suddenly realized why people didn't like snowboarders at that time. Because we knew nothing about how to snowboard, or I didn't. And I had no control over my board or where I was going. And every time I got on it, I'd hit somebody.
So sometimes it takes that outside person to
to
help it along a little bit,
Yeah.
to see a different perspective,
Well, then eventually I switched over to snowboarding, and I didn't ski for like 10 or 12 years. So it was just totally snowboarding. In fact, my right knee is such a mess because when I was working on a snowboard isn't much fun. Right?
No.
It's a pain. It shouldn't be done, right? Skis are much easier.
Well, that's what I thought about. I was telling Evo about that this morning. I was like, he used to show up at the snowboard events, whether he snowboarded or not. He had to ski because that's you can't fix a gate in a slalom course.
You can't carry anything.
Yeah,
you can't
unhook
get
the
there
binding
in
and
time.
hook up, or just
Right.
walk up on your skis.
It's
way easier.
logistical sense. But I got tired of people giving me shit for snowing up on skis, so I was determined to learn how to snowboard, and I did, and I snowboarded really well.
And then
made a big change.
So you were
what?
You were in 40s with a couple million in your bank. All of a sudden, just
Not
going.
my bank,
Oh,
but
but your
ISF
company
bank.
bank, or ISF.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're like.
But most of that went to the Euros.
Yeah.
So
Of
that
course.
kind of started the little bit of the infighting that people didn't realize was going on inside the ISF. Because what happened? You're 40 years old. You have $3.5 million in a corporate account that 3 people are controlling, or 4, because we had the ISF Media Network with Jose Fernandez. And
did Jose wet his beak, so to
he
speak?
was he was a big influence in the ISF.
Yeah, for sure.
And a classic writer.
No, Jose is great, man.
He's great. He's a great guy.
Awesome.
He's a great guy, and I talk to him on Facebook.
Yeah.
Super guy. Anyhow, so that you got money. and you got testosterone.
Yeah.
And you got egos.
Yeah.
And that's a bad combination.
Yeah.
A really bad combination.
Depends on how old you are.
Well, yeah, but for a group of guys,
right?
No,
I know.
Chest thumpers.
Totally.
Just and so that eventually that kind of brought everything down. In the long run, I think the egos took over, and there was a number of reasons why I left when I did, which is a good story. We should talk about that because that's a classic story.
Let's just say it right now.